All right, fam, like, sub, share, speak. Now let's get into this story. Madeleine Westerhout. Yeah, Westerhout. White House aide fired after leaks on Trump family. This is being brought to us by the BBC News. And I'm going to tell you up top, she's definitely a 35%er. That's her right there in the red dress. And she's definitely a 35%er, without question. There's no doubt that he liked having her around just because, hey, it's nice having beautiful women around. But you run a risk. Now, where the BBC comes in, they say that it was due to leaks on the family. I don't know why, but I just have this idea that might be a bit of a smokescreen, and she may have been the one that leaked the nukes and the hurricane story. And if it is, then it's actually pretty brilliant on Trump's part. We all watched Game of Thrones and how Tyrion got Meister Pycelle by putting out a ton of misinformation, basically filling the bottle full of water and then looking to see where the sprout was coming from. And honestly, I wouldn't put that past the president by any stretch of the imagination. So let's get into this. U.S. President Donald Trump's personal assistant has been forced to resign from the White House after leaking private information about his family. Madeleine Westerhout, 29, was abruptly removed on Thursday after the president learned she had been talking to reporters at a dinner this month. She was drinking and bragging about her access to Mr. Trump during his holiday in New Jersey, CBS News reports. Ms. Westerhout had worked with him since the first day of his presidency. The White House has declined to comment on her departure. The New York Times, which first reported her firing, cited firing or resignation. Come on, BBC. Cited a White House source who said she is now considered a separate employee and would be barred from returning to the executive mansion on Friday. Described in U.S. media as Mr. Trump's gatekeeper, she had an office directly in front of the Oval Office in the West Wing. Her comments were made in an off-the-record dinner chat with reporters at a hotel in Berkeley Heights, New Jersey, during Mr. Trump's holiday at his club in Bedminster, New Jersey, earlier in August. Sources told CBS News she was drinking and disclosed details about the president's family. She also reportedly gossiped about the broadcaster seeking access to the president. It is unclear how Mr. Trump learned of the conversation. Oh, she is not as cute in this picture. Jeez, maybe she's one of those chicks that maybe she shouldn't smile. Several White House officials had long suspected Ms. Westerhout of disloyalty to Mr. Trump. President Trump, come on. With one former official telling CBS she was a spy from day one who sought to use her proximity to the president to carry favor with his detractors. According to two books about the Trump White House, Ms. Westerhout, a former Republican National Committee aide, was upset and seen crying on election night once it became clear that Mr. Trump had won. Despite her apparent dismay at Mr. Trump's victory, she managed to land a reported $145,000 a year position as his gatekeeper. How do you mess that up? $145K a year? Shit. During Mr. Trump's transition, Ms. Westerhout was often seen escorting guests through the lobby of Trump Tower in New York. According to the New York Times, she has a private Instagram page where she posts about her life in the White House and travels with the president. In one post, she joked about printing out a piece of paper that Mr. Trump had held up at a public event. Why are they, BBC, why are you refusing to refer to him as President Trump? You keep calling him Mr. Trump. That's very, I don't know, it feels a little, disrespectful. That's his title. Address the man by the title that he won. When veteran journalist Bob Woodward complained to Mr. Trump in an interview that his request to speak with him had not been passed along by more prominent aides such as Kellyanne Conway, Mr. Trump said he should have contacted Ms. Westerhout. Madeleine is the key. She's the secret, President Trump said. According to CBS, President Trump has often referred to her as my beauty. Of course, so Trump has never, and let's be clear about this, never pretended he does not like beautiful women. Okay, so if that's the person that he wanted to deal with, of course he was. She a 35%er, man. She a good looking chick when she ain't smiling. Does she look a little bit like that chick from Twilight? What's her name? Kristen Stewart. Yeah, she looks like a hotter version of Kristen Stewart. But yeah, so I find it just like really interesting how there's so many people willing to sacrifice for clout, like because that's all that really was. Like her, if the situation as I kind of interpret it, because I really don't think that her talking smack, because other reports have it saying that she was talking smack about Tiffany and how President Trump doesn't want to be seen with Tiffany and all this other nonsense. By the way, I think Tiffany is the hotter Trump daughter. I don't like. Okay, so Ivanka is very conventionally hot. Like, yo, it's like really no question, particularly when standing next to her sister. But her sister's not bad looking, so thusly, like, but compared to her big sister, yeah, a little. So, so she's like, yo, like honestly, like she's far more approachable, more get outable, But neither one of them are ugly, and definitely not Tiffany. I think she's actually, like I said, I think she's actually better looking. She may have more personality and more like charm to her, because like everybody tends to like trip balls over Ivanka. So if you like the type that like, yo, mom, about you, like don't even worry about that shit. Like I don't like who, what sister, who, like all over it. Trust me, that's kind of just the way that the wiring is. But yeah, so if Trump is playing, if Trump pulled the Tyrion here, and it was the hurricane thing, then like, yeah, just mad props to the man. But if this is accurate, then like seriously, she did this to herself, because darling, like you making 145K a year, but clout is a what's the name thing? Clout, and having a couple of drinks in you. That's why you shouldn't drink on the job too. I'm just saying. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, go ahead, do that too. I ain't scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube, BitChute, and we'll see. And speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments? I mean, do you think that she got let go because she was talking a little smack about Trump's family? She got a little bit too a little too familiar, a little too comfortable in her position? Or do you think it might be the hurricane thing? Either ways, I'd love to know what you're thinking in the comments, and until the next one.